We're here in Islington North, the constituency of Jeremy Corbyn MP,
Woo! I wish he'd be winning.
who 5 years ago was running to be Prime Minister of Great Britain as leader of the Labour Party. This time round, after 40 years as an MP for Labour, he's having to stand as an independent after he was caught up in the purge of the left of the Labour Party by Keir Starmer.
It's terrible. I used to vote Labour, but I don't think I will vote Labour or consider them ever again.
We're going to talk to Jeremy, some of his canvassers and local residents about what we can expect to see here on July 4th. You've been on the campaign trail now for weeks. What's it been like out there?
Fun,
Yeah?
interesting, enjoyable.
Is it energised you seeing this many people come out for you? And what's your message to them?
I don't need energising. I've got the energy already, but it is energising to a lot of people. I've had people come to our office who are, how should I put it, feeling a bit disenfranchised and a bit down because they want to see the end of this horrible, corrupt, venal Tory government. Of course they do. We've all had enough of that. They've seen their living standards drop by at least a fifth in the past decade, and they want change. Of course they do, but they don't see it being offered. And whilst I'm not going to be moving into government, I'm not going to be the Prime Minister, I'm not going to be the one who is leading that government. Everybody knows that. But I tell you what, I guarantee to be that voice of hope.
And if I'd said to you on election night 2019, next time round you're going to be standing as an independent, would you have believed me?
Probably not. I believe most things you say, but not that. How could any of us predicted what was going to happen? Our determination then, now, and always will be, is for one of bringing about equality and justice and hope in our society and a world free from war.
Previous right-wing leaders of the Labour Party, like Tony Blair, they haven't done what Starmer's done. In terms of your position as an MP, as a Labour Party member, was never in doubt, even through the years in the war in Iraq, Afghanistan, when you were speaking out publicly against government policy. It is we're seeing something different now, isn't it? It's a much more maximalist approach where...
I had plenty of arguments with Tony Blair, as you'd expect. I mean, I've known Tony Blair for a very long time. Yeah. He lived round here, actually, when he was first elected to Parliament. Were we ever close? No, absolutely not. Did we ever politically agree? Not very often. But I willingly concede that he was crucial in the Northern Ireland peace process. Many of us had dreamt and wanted that day, but to be fair to me, carried it over the line. Likewise, the Human Rights Act and the minimum wage legislation. He was totally wrong on student fees, totally wrong on private finance initiative and internal markets in local government, and obviously completely wrong both on Afghanistan and Iraq. He knew my views on it. I met him many times before the Iraq war. He didn't turn around and say, well, if you carry on disagreeing with me, I'm going to have you chucked out of the Labour Party. He never said that.
There are some critics of yours who say, Jeremy, when he realised what was happening in the Labour Party with, because it happened quite quick. I mean, Rebecca Long-Bailey got kicked out of the shadow cabinet within a couple of months for tweeting an interview with Maxi B. They said Jeremy, when he was suspended, should have created his own party, and all the independents that we now see could have coalesced around him. And why didn't you do that? And why do you not think that's a good idea?
Well, I didn't do it because most of my comrades were in the Labour Party and were not in favour of leaving the party or setting up an alternative. Secondly, there are many independents around the country, some of whom are good friends of mine who have fundamental agreements with and very happy to work with them on lots of things. Some have different approaches. Had I put all my energies 2 years ago into setting up an alternative, I would have spent the last 2 years setting up that alternative. Yeah. My job is to represent the people of Islington North.
But the argument against that is that if you look at what Nigel Farage has done, he's never got into power or any party he's founded, but UKIP transformed UK politics by just changing the Conservative Party, and Reform now pretty much doing the thing. This is on the right, obviously, but is there not the potential at some stage to change the Labour Party by creating an alternative on the left?
I look at it another way. The hundreds of thousands of people that have come out and demonstrated for peace in Gaza and supported the Palestinian people, including a very large number of active Jewish people, have done that. That has actually, without calling itself anything, become a coalition of thought, a coalition of peace and a coalition of unity. It's happening. And the pressure on Labour candidates in this election and the pressure on candidates before the election over a ceasefire in Gaza has had a big effect.
And we talked about what you'll do if you win. But is it okay to ask what you might do if you didn't win?
No, it's not. No. What I'm going to tell you.
Well, that's why I asked then.
What I'm going to tell you is this: I'm offering the people of Islington North my services as their MP. They know what my political views are. They know what I've said. I've produced a local manifesto. The alternative offered to the people of Islington North is a Labour candidate nominated by nobody, selected by nobody, voted for by nobody, imposed on a shortlist of one by a secret panel of 3 people from the National Executive who absolutely refuses to attend any debate with me, the Liberal Democrat, or the Green candidates.
Did you know of him before this election?
I had heard of his existence and heard that he was apparently taking an extraordinary number of cups of tea with people as a councillor, but not in the ward that he was elected to represent.
And he's got a history in private healthcare, is that right?
I understand he has a number of private healthcare companies in the past. He's been director of, a chair of, a founder of, and has sold some of them on, as I understand it.
Final question, are you going to win?
Yes, but it's going to take a huge amount of effort over the next 7 days. So anybody watching this, got any time, come along, join our campaign.
Great, thanks Jeremy.
Thank you.
This week, a poll showed Jeremy Corbyn losing his seat to Labour, an outcome his campaign says is unlikely. But one thing is certain, Islington's wedding dress retailers are voting for him.
I believe he win it. I believe. Woo! I wish he be winning and he the best to him. Independent, please. I tell everyone, honestly.
What do you think of the way the Labour Party has treated Jeremy?
This is best. Independent, very good. Labour, sorry.
Do you think it's time for like a new left-wing party?
Yeah, 100%. Million times. I believe he be winning. I believe. I tell all my customer, everyone I told them. I'm working to him, I like it. He's a good idea. I know he do best. Woo!
Supporters are travelling from all over England to help canvass for Corbyn.
Where have you guys come from?
I've come from Kettering.
Yeah, I've come from Derby.
Okay, and why have you come today to canvass for JC?
Because I think he's one of the very few honest politicians left in the country. He's inspirational to many young people such as myself.
With all the bad press that Jeremy's had over the years, and he still stands there and he says, I don't do gutter politics. I thought that man deserves some credit. And 80 years old, I thought, I'm going to come down and do my bit. Islington blood runs through his veins.
Are you previous Labour Party supporters?
I was a member and I left upon his expulsion from the party.
I left the Labour Party when Blair took us to war in Iraq.
Anger with Labour over foreign policy and their treatment of Corbyn runs deep in this constituency, where he spent decades helping local residents with their problems, something that could prove decisive.
You're a local resident here. Who are you going to be voting for in the upcoming election?
Jeremy Corbyn.
Why?
I think he's a person who cares for Islington. We have, and despite of the recession and the lack of money in the government, he continues to keep up with the cleaning of the streets and to listen to citizens' needs. So yes, I will be voting for him.
And you know he's not standing for the Labour Party?
Yes, I do know.
Do you think he will win? What's the feeling in the constituency? Are people saying they're going to vote for him?
We're excited about him running again, and I think he will win.
Okay. And have you had much contact with him as your MP over the years?
Actually, yes, about 2 months ago.
What happened?
I had a concern about drugs going on in Islington Road, and he wrote back to me a week later, contacted the local council and contacted some of the private owners on the street. So that was pretty good for an MP.
And did it solve the problem?
Yes.
And what do you think of Keir Starmer?
Don't ask me. I don't have anything good to say about the guy.
And do you know who the Labour Party candidate is in the constituency?
No.
It doesn't matter to you.
No, it doesn't matter.